Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wealth Journey. In this video, I'm going to go through some of my workings as to why Tesla will get me to financial freedom by the age of 35, if not before. Just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only and is not financial advice, just what I am doing personally. So what I'm going to do is bring up a summary model which shows my workings as to what I believe Tesla will produce purely in terms of cars, nothing else, between 2021, which we know 3 of the 4 quarters, and then what I think will happen in both 2022 and 2023, the next 2 years. If you don't want to sit through me going through the model in detail, then I'll put some chapters in and do a summary part at the end of the video. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in. I know that this looks like a lot of numbers to digest and to take in at one time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each part of the model and explain what each bit means and how it's built up. So how I've approached this is I've broken it down by quarter, by factory. I've put in what the production capacity is for each of the factories that are built or are nearing completion this year. I've then put in a utilisation or ramp percentage for each of the quarters. This then feeds the numbers in the grey section below to put that into production numbers or actual vehicles produced. I've then added a line to summarise up those numbers from their individual factory level to the total production per quarter. Now, the reason why I'm using production and not differentiating between that and sales is that basically they're one and the same. Any cars that Tesla produce are sold in the same quarter, or a small percentage spill into the next quarter. Sales are just a function of production plus any inventory carried over. If you look at the previous quarters and also look at the order book for Tesla, currently if you order a Tesla, you won't be getting one for a few months right now. And I personally cannot see that changing over the next couple of years as demand continues to outstrip supply. The numbers you see in the orange font highlighted here, so the growth of production in both quarter over quarter as well as year over year, these are important to see by how much Tesla is still growing and at what rate. This is then followed by what that production would be if Tesla just kept at that level at an annualized rate, so that quarter times 4 basically. The next section of numbers are the ASP, the average selling price per vehicle, and the gross margin percentage gained from each of those vehicles sold. So you'll see that the average selling price that I have in for quarter 4 of 2021 and the first half of 2022 is at $55,000 a vehicle. This is down to 2 reasons. 1. A higher percentage of vehicles sold will be of the Model S and X, which are higher value premium vehicles, than in the previous couple of quarters, as they weren't necessarily being produced at a couple of factories. Also, we've seen increase in the price for Models 3 and Y, which Elon Musk mentioned, down to supply chain costs over recent months and quarters. I then have this figure dropping down to $50,000 by the end of 2022 and steadily reducing down further quarter by quarter in 2023 as both Texas and Berlin hit higher production of the Model Y vehicle. On the next line, the gross margin percentage, you'll see that in Q1 of 2022 I have this dropping down. This is because I believe, like we've seen in the past, that at the start of new factories ramping, a lot of costs get absorbed in this period before they achieve higher production and fewer teething problems are ironed out. This then returns to above 30% and gradually increases to 35% throughout the majority of 2023. This is because we have a larger proportion of production starting to come in from the new gigafactories in Texas and Berlin. These are set to be much more cost effective and cost efficient than Fremont. If we look over to the right hand side of this summary, you'll see the totals by year for each of the factories, as well as my estimates as to how many cars will be produced in each year. So for 2021, I have an estimate that 895,000 cars will be produced in total for this year. That then increases to 1.6 million in 2022 and 2.45 million in 2023. From these numbers, the cars produced, using the average selling price and the gross margin percentage, you can calculate that through to work out a gross profit for each quarter and ultimately each year. So from this, I've then applied an EBITDA multiple to work out the market cap of Tesla as a company. I've used the multiple of 75 for each of the years, which is what companies like Amazon had back when they were a high growth company. As you can see, shown in the green cells, this works out to be around $1,000 per share at the end of 2021, $1,950 by the end of 2022, and a little over $3,000 at the end of 2023. So welcome back to those that didn't watch the full video and just wanted to skip to the summary. In real simple terms, my workings suggest that a share of Tesla could be worth $3,000 by the end of 2023 or the start of 2024. This does not include any value from energy or robo-taxis at all. Furthermore, Tesla has plans to increase the Fremont facility by up to 50% of the current capacity, which I've not factored in to happen over the course of the next 2 years, as they will be focusing on the Texas and Berlin factories. This adds weight to the fact that I'm still probably quite conservative on my production numbers. This also assumes that no EV tax credit, which is currently being discussed by the government at the moment in America, this would be purely additional profit for Tesla for cars produced at both the Fremont and the Austin, Texas factories. If you multiply this $3,000 a share price by the 208 shares that I currently own across my ISA and general investment account, that gets me to around $624,000 worth of Tesla shares, which equates to just under £460,000 in a little over 2 years' time. That ends up being a 380% increase in value for that time period. If this video has been entertaining and helpful, drop it a like, click subscribe, and check out some of my other content. But until next time, stay safe.